Law Tech Solutions, where we share legal knowledge using technological means. We come up live on Saturdays, 9 a.m. US time, 3 p.m. Nigerian time. We've started coming up live now on Sundays around this time. So feel free to join us at any time. Feel free to listen up. Feel free to join the discussion. Feel free to ask questions. However, we want to place a disclaimer out there. We are not giving legal advice. Whatever advice we have here is general advice, okay? So if you need personalized advice on your individual case and you're asking questions about your individual case, you need to seek the services of an immigration attorney. There are lots of immigration attorneys out there. And if I let you know that your case, maybe if you ask a personal question and I let you know that, oh, your case is personalized, you need to seek an immigration attorney, you want to do well to do that, okay? Because the atmosphere now is very, very strict. It's very strict. A whole lot of policy changes. A whole lot is going on out there. You want to be careful. You want to make sure you stay updated with the policy updates, the immigration policy updates out there, especially if you have your application with the USCIS, or if you have your application with the consular office, if you have your application out there with the immigration, okay, you want to make sure that you are keeping yourself updated so you don't waste time, money, and resources. Be strategic about your case. Make sure that you tick off every checkbox about your case, okay, so that you do not get stranded or so that you do not get stranded, okay? So now we are going to start now. I'm going to be real quick. Then I will take questions for those persons that have questions. I'll take questions. Monami, you help me check from the backstage whether there's anybody that has any question to ask from the other from our other channels, and then we can answer everything at the same time while we are live here. So thank you all so much for joining me. Sorry we had to delay a bit because we've been trying to set up, okay? So we're just gonna be real quick because we all have things that we are doing. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Please keep the likes coming, okay? Please keep the likes coming. Keep the likes coming. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Okay, so let's go ahead. So welcome to yet another live session by CY Azor Law Tech Solutions, where law meets technology. I am Attorney Cynthia Azor, a US and Nigerian attorney. Today's discussion is for educational purposes only, and it should not be deemed to be legal advice. Immigration policies are changing rapidly, and today we are going to break down some of the latest updates, common mistakes people are making, and practical things everyone should know. If you're joining us live, let me know where you're watching from and tell me your immigration category in the comment section below. Let us take a look at the work permit rules, the EAD. What is going on with the work permit rules, with the EAD, right? So recently we have seen, I don't know what's going on here. Hold on. Give me a moment. This thing is not, I don't know what's going on here. Welcome in. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining. Thank you. Welcome in. Welcome in, everyone. So recently, we've seen USCIS continue making changes affecting employment authorization. So if you currently have a work permit or plan to apply for one, this is something you should pay attention to. So employment authorization documents, the EADs, the renewal processing delays. You need to file the correct form. We have some processing delays now with the EAD. You need to file the correct forms for processing, the correct processing forms. You need to read the current USCIS instructions before you file, okay? Do not wait until the last minute before you renew, right? Do not wait until the last minute before you renew. So have you ever applied for a work permit? So is anyone here currently waiting for their EAD? So I have a question. It says, Attorney, will these new work permit rules affect everyone? Of course, it's going to affect everyone. It's going to affect everyone as long as you've applied for if you've applied for a work permit, it's going to affect you. Okay, it affects everybody. There's a delay in the EAD processing now. You want to make sure you put in your work permit before your you want to make sure you apply before your work permit gets expired. Okay, make sure you apply before your work permit gets expired. Okay, give me a moment, please. 1 second. There's something going on here. 1 second, please, everybody. My God. Give me a moment, please. Give me a moment, please. Please give me a moment. Thank you. Let me play some music. Get YouTube Music Premium. Give me a moment, please. Sorry. Mon ami, thank you. Uwese. Uwese, oh, my people. Some will hear me speak Uwese now. They'll say, is she Benin? Oh, yes, I grew up in Benin. So I know how to speak Benin. They are more like my brothers and sisters. Most of the things I have done with them since my childhood. So I like them a lot. They are such nice group of people. Benin. Let's say if a Benin person is your friend, I just know that, man, you are just going to be happy and get everything that you need. They don't get problem. Thank you so much, my people. Thank you, mon ami. God bless you. Please help me send message to Abi. She don't sleep. You know it's late now in Nigeria. It's late now in Nigeria, so I'm sure many of my team members must have slept. Thank you all so much. I can see what you all are doing on my social media platform. Thank you so much. My team, oh my goodness. They are good. Like with them, I can just go and sleep. I can just go and sleep with them. Like I can just sleep, and then I will know that I'm okay. Monami, come in now so that you can gain massively. Come in so that you can gain massively. Also, help me check the other places whether we have questions coming up there. Let me check whether we have questions coming up there in the other places. Thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining. Thank you for your likes. I can see you all. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your support. So far, so good. We've been doing well. Like I told my team, I said, I've been on social media for some time. Social media is about consistency and passion, okay? So the truth is that initially you may not gain the traction that you need. People feel like social media is free money, but it's not necessarily free money as such, because it's going to take you time and dedication for you to build your momentum to that point where you will start earning. And normally social media is about passion. Like I'm passionate about educating people. Yes, everybody around me knows that is me. That is what I love to do. You can't take that away from me, definitely. And so my being here is like, I'm just so happy that I'm able to connect with people. I'm able to lecture people. I'm able to let people know what they need to know about immigration policies and all of those other things. And it just makes me feel happy, right? So just do whatever you feel makes you feel happy. If you're happy coming out to give tips and strategies, feel free to do it. Okay. It's not showbiz, it's our business, it's what we love to do. Yes. So thank you very much for joining me today. Everything about me is just hanging today. My phone is hanging, my iPad is hanging. I don't even know what's going on with this iPad right now. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me just be fast. I'll just do quick and go off the live session. Skip the scheduling back and forth with Google Calendar. I even feel like we may just do this thing on Saturdays, or we can just do the immigration aspect on Saturday, because Sunday is very busy for so many persons, especially myself. I have a lot I do on Sundays. So I don't know what's going on with this iPad. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Wherever you're watching from, welcome to my life. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Thank you for joining. If you not stay small, more na come in, oh. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Please share the live. Please click on the likes. Increase the like session for us. Please populate. That's what we usually do on TikTok. We spend a couple of minutes initially. We spend some minutes initially to populate the live and let more persons, get to know more about the live session before we start. That's what we do. So thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. God bless you. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Welcome to my life, everybody. Okay, so let us continue. So, like I was saying, this is for educational purposes only. Immigration policies have been changing rapidly over the past few months. Today, we are discussing the updates that have generated the most questions. So, our first discussion is about the work permit rules. Work permit rules. Let's start with something that affects thousands of people. I'm coming in past this. There's something I'm coming. So, thank you so much. I'm looking at. Okay, yes, okay. So there are no questions here. So let us start with something that affects thousands of people. Work permits. What is a work permit? EAD. Who generally needs one? Why are people suddenly worried? The recent changes and increased scrutiny and renewals, processing delays. Akma, I see you. Importance of filing correctly, the importance of using the latest USCIS forms, and why waiting until the last minute is risky. Yes. So now, speaking of people who already have immigration benefits, let's talk about another issue that has been generating concern. It's the travel. Traveling outside the United States isn't always as simple as buying a ticket. So even every time you return, the CBP conducts a new inspection. There's increased scrutiny at ports of entry now. So now talking about the parolees, those persons that have been paroled, that you come in, you file an application. It can be humanitarian, it can be I-130, and you want to leave. That's what is parole. Like parole is like you want to leave the country, and then you want to maybe return to your country, go do something, and then come back, right? So there is a document that you're giving, which is called the parole document, right? Now, what we are seeing increased situation whereby those persons who have already filed and they've not gotten their green card and they've not gotten their citizenship, they are being held at the border, okay? So they are being held at the border, and when they're held at the border, they are being questioned. Thank you, Akma. I can see you. Thank you so much. So while being held at the border, they are being questioned. So even if you feel like you have your EAD, even if you feel like because before when once your paper is already processing, you can travel and come back, right? But now, even if you have a work permit, they're going to question the work permit and ask you how you got it. In some cases, they may say that it's fraud and all those other things, and they will not allow you come back in. So the general advice now that we give to so many persons is if you've already filed. Thank you, Tiana. I can see you. Do you want to join the live? Feel free. Let me see. Some persons are requesting. Let me see. Okay, let me accept her. Did you request to Akman? Let me see. Sorry, you can't just come in like that. I have to accept you now. Barrister. I change the settings. People used to jump in a lot before. So I had to go change the settings so that we will always accept those persons that are coming in so that they don't disturb our program. Thank you very much for joining. I appreciate you all. Thank you for the like. I can see we're getting to 5K likes. Oh my goodness, that's so good. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you all. Akma, if you want to come in, send a request, okay? Let me invite you. All right, so my team members, you all can come into the box and let us all gain massively. Monami, you can come into the box. Let's all gain massively. We are also going to grow our account today. So it's only educating. We are also here to grow our account, even if we are lawyers. Okay, even if we are lawyers, we are also going to grow our accounts and grow our social media platforms. Yeah. So yeah, welcome in. I've been trying to get into my TikTok on the other phone, but I'm unable to. That would have really helped me a lot. Well, it's okay. All right. So let's just continue from where we stopped. So like I was saying, right? So you're giving a document. So even with that document, you're still not certain that you're not going to be held at the border and questioned and returned back. So the general advice now is, even if you're traveling within the state or you're traveling outside the country, you have to be careful. We usually say traveling now is risky. That's the general advice, right? So you need to understand your immigration status before traveling. So you need to consult with an attorney to advise you whether you should travel. Some of the things that the attorney may look at when you consult them is they may look at your criminal background. They may look at certain factors that might necessitate a lot of questioning, and they may advise you based on your category and based on your background too. So it's important you consult an attorney before you travel, so you don't get stuck or held up on in the at the border. Okay. Thank you all so much for joining. I appreciate you all. Thank you, Attorney Ruben. Please, if you're connecting with us as you're coming in, please help us to increase the follows with from people in the box. These are all my team members. They are great team members. Please gift them, follow them. They are great team members. We all hold each other. We have a bond. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate you and everything you've been doing for us on our social media platform. I don't even go there, but my posts keep going out like every single day. So thank you so much. We don't have our developer here. He's always busy creating one. He's busy creating one product or the other. Yes. So yes. So he will not be able to join us. But yeah, some of my team members are just at the background trying to help out. So thank you all so much for joining. If you are a member of my community, please feel free to hop in and support us at any time. Thank you all very much. We really appreciate you. Okay, so now, there's a difference between having permission to travel and being admitted at the point of entry. So what is having permission to travel? Having permission to travel is having a parole document. Okay? A parole document that the immigration gives to you and tells you, okay, you can travel. Maybe due to emergency, you have something you have to do at home because you're processing your papers. Then they'll give you that document. Then you can travel and come back. So being admitted at the port of entry is just like you're being admitted on a B1, B2 visa, or being admitted on any of the visa categories. Those are different. Okay, some persons do not get admitted at the port of entry. Some persons are paroled in. So it all just depends on the circumstances of your case. Okay, some are paroled in, some are granted admission through any of the visa categories. So travel isn't the only thing that is changing. Okay, another issue we are seeing involves the immigration court, the EOIR. Okay, so what is EOIR? EOIR is the immigration review. They are the courts that actually determine whether or not you should stay or you should get deported, especially if you've overstayed your visa. Okay, and if you've applied and you're not granted that category that you applied for. Okay, the EOIR are the ones that determine whether. So if the USCIS takes your case to the EOIR, it leaves the USCIS jurisdiction and it goes to the EOIR, and now you're not at the state of coming for a hearing and then determining whether or not you should stay or you should leave. So usually before, it's just from the general rule of fair hearing, right? Before the rights of an individual will be determined or anything happening to an individual, their proprietary rights, you must give that individual fair hearing. That's what the EOIR is about. If not, it would have just been one-way deportation. So sometimes if you go to the EOIR and you can defend yourself, you may end up staying back. But if you can't defend yourself enough, if the EOIR believes that you did not meet the threshold to stay back and the requirement and qualifications, they may order you deported. And once they order you deported, you must leave the country. Yes. So that is EOIR. And so what is an NTA? An NTA is a notice to appear, okay? So before the EOIR will hear your case, the first thing they do is they give you a notice to appear. You need to appear before the immigration court on so and so date, before so and so judge. That is because what you did to so and so and so and so and so, you overstayed your visa, or and all those other things. And if they just give you everything, and then they will let you know that if you don't come, a decision will be taken in your absence. Okay, so once you get an NTA, you need to quickly look for a way to attend your court session and all those other things. So that is an NTA. Now, there are some asylum applicants are receiving notices to appear. So asylum applicants are receiving notices to appear. Okay. So sometimes we've seen situations whereby an asylum applicant gets a notice to appear. They don't know about it. They don't know about the notice to appear. However, the notice to appear has been issued to them, right? But because they did not come to court, the immigration judge will order them deported, because they are actually giving that decision in absentia. Okay, so it is very important, if you are an asylum applicant, it's very important that you check the EOIR website. You have to check the EOIR website. Thank you for your likes. Please help me tap the screen. Okay, you have to check the EOIR website to determine whether or not your case is in court, whether you've been issued an NTA, because it's possible that you've been issued an NTA and you do not know, and you don't want them to order you in absentia, order you removed in absentia. Okay, so missing a court date can have serious consequences. Okay, it can have serious consequences. It's important you check your EOIR case status if you believe that you may have a pending court case. Even if you don't believe that you have a pending court case, just go and check it now. People are going to check. And surprisingly, you may be shocked that your case is there already, because and all, especially if you've overstayed and all those other things. Now we are seeing a situation whereby there is a new rule that's trying to come out, where they say they are not going to interview the asylees, those persons seeking for asylum. They're just going to go straight ahead to make a decision on their case. It's not yet a law. Okay, it's not yet a law, but that is going to come up soon. That's going to come up soon if it becomes a law. They're just trying to ensure that they make that decision without calling you for interview. Okay, so we don't know when that will start, but we saw that on the news recently. We've all been saying, I hope they don't do it that way, and all those other things, um, um, because at the end of the day, hearing an asylee is a way to help determine the person's rights. Okay, if the person meets the threshold, sometimes hearing them out is also a way to determine whether or not they should stay. So it's not going to be based on the strength of your documentation, based on the strength of what you've submitted. That's why before you submit anything to the USCIS now, you want to make sure that you're consulting an attorney, or you want to also make sure that you are filling out your application well, the right way, do all your research, read all the books, all the readable books that you can read. Do not rely on AI. Do not rely on AI. AI can mess you up when it comes to immigration, but it can give you the old rules, because the rules are changing every day. It can give you the old rules. For instance, the USCIS will not accept money order anymore. But if you check the AI might tell you, yes, you can use money order. Use your money order, apply, and your application will get rejected. And all. So you can see that these are all this, because of the changing rules. The AI is not getting up to date with the changing rules. So do not rely on AI. Always seek clarification from an attorney, an immigration attorney, if you want to proceed, and if you have anything that you feel like you don't understand, get a clarification from an immigration attorney. Okay, that is very important. Okay, so like I said, please, if you're an asylee, if you're an asylum applicant, you're afraid you don't want to go back to your home country, please go and check the EOIR website. Go and check the EOIR website to be sure that your case is not in court yet. There's just a lot going on right now. So, yes. Thank you for joining. If you're just joining, we are talking about the different immigration policy updates to see why, as a Law Tech Solutions, we are a team of persons who have come together to see how we can share legal knowledge through the digital means. So we are creating products and services to help you better understand the law. So, let's move away from court and discuss one of the most misunderstood topics in immigration, which is the public charge. Public charge. So, what is a public charge? Public charge means that you are not going to be of benefit to the United States. Maybe you're not making enough money, or you're not working well, or your affidavit of support is not up to the poverty threshold, or you don't have anybody that can support you well, or you're just not of benefit to the United States government, benefit to the economy. That is public charge. The public charge rule has come out, right? The public charge rule has come out. Now, starting from September, there's going to be an addition to the I-485, right? There'll be an addition, that's a green card application. There'll be an addition to those questions, okay, whereby they're going to ask if this person's of public charge, yes or no. There are so many things they're going to check to determine, are you working well? What is your earning? What are your wages? All those other things. So one of the reasons why people one of the reasons why people panic whenever they hear the phrase public charge is because they are not sure about what is going to happen to their case, right? So different immigration benefits. We have different, sorry, let me check the questions. Okay, I'm seeing some questions coming. Okay, so we have different immigration benefits and we have different rules. So don't assume that every benefit affects every applicant in the same way. So let us talk about the next misconception, the next misunderstanding. The I-130 versus the I-485. So that's one question we always get all the time, right? We have the petition and then we have the green card. So some persons will ask, I got approved for I-130 family based. How come I'm being delayed for I-485? How come I'm not being approved for I-485? Or I got approved for VAWA. How come I'm not being approved for I-485? You understand? So these are two different stages of your immigration process. Someone can get approved for an I-130, a VAWA and all, but you will still not get approved for the I-485, okay? You can meet the threshold for the I-130, the other petition that you filed, but when it comes to the I-485, they check a lot of things before they can admit you through the I-485 or grant you your green card. Now, those things. Now, one of the things they're trying to add by September is public charge. Are you of public charge? Let's check you out to see whether if we grant you this green card, you will not come and depend on the government. The government, they say they have too much that they are doing already. They have limited resources. So they are now saying that they don't want people that will come and be public charge, come and be depending on the government. So you're going to check a whole lot of things. That will be at the discretion of the officer that is interviewing you. Apart from that, we have 8 parts in the I-485. Okay, those 8 parts, we have we have the parts that we have. Sometimes you can have 9 parts depending on the category you're applying for, if it's one I-130 or the VAWA. Now, the last part, you see long list of questions. Okay, you have a criminal history, all those questions, right? Those are questions that how did you come in? Now we have the aspect of the April 1997, right? Have you have multiple entry? and all of those other things, right, after April 1997 and all that, that can create a permanent bar, okay? That can create a permanent bar. Once you leave, you trigger the bar, okay? Once you've stayed for 1 year and you leave, you've triggered the permanent bar, 10-year bar. You cannot come back again, okay? So that kind of thing, if you leave and you come back and now it's time for you to file for your I-485, it'll be very difficult for you to get it because what you triggered the bar at some point. So I've explained that. So we have. So what is the reason why approval of one doesn't automatically mean approval of the other? So some common mistakes, that's common mistake most applicants make. Common mistake most applicants make is that they believe that once they're approved for the I-130, they are going to be approved for their green card, and many of them just travel, and then that is when they now get held up at the board at the border, because what that doesn't mean that you can get your green card, right? So you have to be careful. So even if you're approved for a petition, doesn't mean that because the first thing we hear is, oh, I want to travel, I want to travel. Once you're approved, I want to travel, I want to travel, I want to travel. No, you have to look at your circumstances before you travel, okay? Generally, it is not advisable at this time if you've got an approved petition and you've not gotten your green card. Okay. So another question officers are asking more frequently relates to how people enter the United States. Okay. Consular processing. So officers are now asking, why didn't you process through the embassy? Why didn't you process through the embassy? Okay, because now at some point we saw a policy that came out that said, oh, you have to go back to your home country before you can apply for your I-485. So even if you've been approved, your I-130 or your petition has been approved here, you have to go back home before you can get your I-485. We have different questions that are coming up now at the USCIS office, whereby they're asking questions about your background. They're asking questions, why did you go back home, right? So things like being of community support can be helpful to you. Things like your nature of job can be helpful to you. Things like, things happening in your family can be helpful to you. Just look for, before you go for the I-485 interview, before you go for your interview, sometimes they mix the two, VAWA and I-485, I-30 and I-485, I-130 and I-485, they mix the two now, kind of. So before you go for any interview at all, make sure that you've prepared yourself in case they ask you why you did not go back home to file, okay? So it's at the discretion of the immigration officers to determine whether or not you'll be granted a green card. That's one policy that have come in now. Sometimes it's based on their discretion. Sometimes if you can explain, some officers will ask, some officers will not ask. So generally, you just want to make sure that you're prepared before you go for your I-485 interview. Let's see. You need to make sure you know your immigration history. You need to be prepared to prepare yourself very well, be truthful to the immigration officers, stay consistent throughout your documents, throughout. Whatever you say in your document should be the same thing with what you're going to say to the immigration officers, okay? So that is very important. So preparation actually reminds me of another important issue, building a strong immigration case, okay? Very important. So let us look at our seventh discussion. We need to look at the factors, excuse me. So we need to look at the factors that the immigration officers will look into when they are trying to determine whether or not you should go back home to the consular offices to process your I-485. One of those is we have some positive factors: your employment history, have you paid your taxes well, family responsibilities, volunteer work, community service, good moral character. So documentation of all of these matters. So if you don't have it in your file, go put it in your file. Now let's talk about something that sounds small but has caused many applications to be rejected. Original signature rule. That rule just came out recently. We are seeing situations whereby USCIS is rejecting application because you did not use wet ink signature. Wet ink signature, very important. You must wet ink sign on every of your form, and your law firm cannot sign on your behalf, or someone else cannot just copy your signature from one place and put it in another place. It has to be you signing. That is the new rule that has come out now. Original signature where required. Don't photocopy signatures. Don't copy signatures from old forms. Don't paste signatures repeatedly. Filing errors will lead to rejection. You have to refile. There's going to be new filing fees. They're not going to refund you. I've gotten that question before where somebody told me, especially when this issue about the ban, and we had persons who had maybe their spouses abroad and they had already filed, so they felt that they had already filed, they had already given government the money. And when that rule changed, and then if they are from a country that is banned, it means that your spouse cannot come and all of those other things. The question we're getting then was, yes, I think, will the government grant me a refund? What I was telling them then was, forget that refund though, because at the end of the day, your document is still processing and all of that, and all those other things. It's just that now they're not doing anything about your case. So what they're saying is, we are not adjudicating your case. Okay, so that doesn't mean that you should just go ask for refund and all of those other things. So there will be no in this particular case, signature issues. You are not going to get a refund at all. It's there in the rules. So you have to refile. You know how much it costs to file your green card and all. So now let's move into one of my favorite topics. So do we have any questions? Do we have any questions? Are there any questions in the comment section? Thank you so much. I can see someone says, thank you, Ma. Thank you so much. I can see a lot of follows. I can see a lot of persons coming in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your follows. If you're following us on Facebook, we are also on TikTok, so we are trying to relate with them. TikTok people now, TikTok people, they are community people. They want you to really, really relate with them. So we are trying to see how best we can relate with them. Okay. So yes, thank you so much for coming in. Please put your question in the comment section. As I see it, I will pick it up. As I see it, I'll pick it up. Okay. So thank you all so much. We will soon close the section. I just felt to introduce the immigration aspect of our live session. I had to get some clearance before I did this. So yes. So yes. Thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for pushing up the likes to 10K. Yes, thank you. Thank you all so much. So preparation is actually key. Preparation is key. And I just want to quickly talk about the preparation is actually key, and preparation actually reminds me of another important issue: building a strong immigration case. So our seventh discussion will talk about the positive factors, employment history, paying of tax, and all those other things. We talked about all that before. Let us now go down to, let me see some questions somebody is asking. Let's now move down to work visas. I have a message. Let me see whether somebody's asking a question. So this question says, how do I know if I have an important court case? Thank you so much, Tiana. You want to come in to ask that question? Okay, well, let me just invite you. Okay, how do you know if you have an important court case? It's very important to check the EOIR website, right? So go to the EOIR website, use your A number and check for your case. Everything is listed there. So once you get an NTA, a notice to appear, right? The first thing is they usually issue the notice to appear, so they will issue it to your residents. and all, or to your attorney and all of those other things, then they will upload it to their EOIR website. Okay, so you have to check if you feel like especially the asylees, okay, check please. Sometimes you may not get the notice to appear, and they may order you. They are doing that a lot now. So many persons are being ordered to leave the United States. They are being deported, and they do not know that they are deported. Yes, they do not know that they are deported. They do not know that they have to leave because they did not attend the session. In fact, they did not get the notice to appear. So please check. Thank you very much for that question. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that question. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you for asking that question. Yes, thank you for asking the question. I'm just trying to set up this mic. Yeah. Thank you so much for asking this question. I appreciate you, Attorney. Thank you, 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 thank you. Okay, so let me quickly talk about work visas. So I've been getting lots of questions. Attorney, I want to come into the United States. Maybe you're outside the country. Which visa should I apply for? Now, let me explain something. There's not just one work visa, right? So we have the H-1B, we have the EBs, right? We have the EB1, EB2, EB3 national interest. We have the EB1, we have the EB2 national interest waiver, we have the EB3. Okay, we have so many other categories of work visas. So some persons will see H-1B and believe that H-1B is just it, right? So you need to know your background and determine which of these categories you are going to apply for based on your background. So these different visa categories exist for different purposes. We have temporal work visas, we have permanent employment based immigration, we have employer sponsorship, we have self petition categories. So we have investor options, right? So choosing the right category matters a lot. Okay. So let us look at the specialty occupations, skilled workers. We have different categories. We have specialty occupations, we have skilled workers, we have seasonal workers, we have for some visa types for agricultural workers, we have visa types for religious workers, we have company transfer, we have extraordinary ability, we have for advanced degree professionals, we have categories for researchers, we have categories for executive. So some of the common myths is that some persons feel like every employer cannot sponsor. So getting a job. So okay, so we have some common myths. Okay, so it's not every employer that can sponsor. So getting a job doesn't automatically give you a visa. Okay, so every work visa doesn't become a green card. Okay, so every applicant has different eligibility requirements. Okay, so check your background, discuss with an attorney before you determine which category to go for. So since we are discussing employment-based immigration, let's briefly talk about investment visas. So we have the investor visas. We have different investor visa options. Investing money alone isn't enough. You need to plan the business. You need to present adequate documentation. You need to be actively involved in your case. You need to meet all the legal requirements. Okay. So now let's finally transition and talk about what happens when you successfully filed your case and you are called for an interview. Okay. So we have the interview. The tips and strategies for you is this: know your application, read everything before attending, tell the truth, listen carefully, don't guess, bring your documents, stay calm, then only answer the questions you are asked, look the officer in the eyes. Let's look at immigration tips. Always read every USCIS notice completely, attend every appointment, respond to RFEs promptly, request for further evidences, keep copies of everything, update your address, okay? Do not ignore immigration court processes or notices. Stay informed, my people, because immigration law changes constantly, okay? So we're going to end this live session, but before then, I would like to take some questions from the audience. And I want to remind you that today's discussion was merely educational and that immigration outcomes depend on each person's specific facts and applicable law. So, thank you all so much for listening to me today. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. I'm now going to sit back and I will wait for your questions. Thank you all so much. My team, una much. I really appreciate you all. Seriously, you all are making this a lot easier for me because it makes sense to work with a team that actually understands. Okay, that understand the job. Yes. So, Akpa, I can see you in the box. Do you have a question? Please ask your question. I'm going to call one person at a time. I'm going to call one. Let me check myself. Let me see whether I have any questions on the background real quick. Let me check my computer to be sure. Okay, let me check myself actually. Let me see. Okay, let me see. Okay, Akbar say he has a question. Do you want to turn on your mic or do you want to ask your question in the comment section? You can just type it or you can turn on your mic. Let me turn it on for you in case. Let me see. Oh, okay, yes, on now. Okay. Thank you so much, Akbar. Okay, I think he prefers to type his question. Please, you can type your question. I think I don't know. I unmuted you now. Why? Why is it doing that? Or do I have to wait for some time? Okay. Yes, I can hear you very well. Good evening. Yes, I know. Mm-hmm. Okay, so your question now is if, for instance, someone did not know that they were going to get an NTA, and then someone does not know that they will get they didn't know about the NTA, and then the immigration judge orders them to be deported, and then they later get to find out, will they still get deported? So it just depends on the circumstances of the case. Okay, thank you so much for that question. Thank you. So yes, I would say that it all depends on the circumstances of the case, depending on the reasons why you couldn't attend your your uh, your immigration um your court case. Like, why couldn't you attend? Okay, the short answer is actually yes, it is possible, but it also depends on specific facts of the case. Okay, if an immigration judge should enter an absential decision, okay, because the person did not appear, the person may be able to file a motion to reopen, okay, a motion to reopen if they show, for example, that they never received a proper notice of hearing, that there were exceptional circumstances that prevented them from appearing, that the law otherwise, and if the law otherwise allows the order to be reopened. So every case is different. So anyone with a pending asylum application should regularly check the EOIR case status to make sure that they have not been replaced or placed, that make sure they've not been placed into removal proceedings without realizing it. It's very important. So if you discover that you have an upcoming hearing, or worse, that an absentia order has already been entered, you should consult an experienced immigration attorney immediately, because timing is critical. You know, the key takeaway is this: don't wait until the last minute, until it's too late. Okay, monitor your case. That's what we are telling applicants now. Monitor your case. Monitor your case. It doesn't take anything to go to the EOIR website and just use your A number to check if you are in the immigration court already. You need to always keep your address updated with the USCIS. If you change your address at any time, they have a link that you can use to go and update them about your address. And you can always receive their notices, especially important notices like notice to appear. Okay. And always keep your record updated with the USCIS and the EOIR when required, and seek legal advice as soon as you become aware of any immigration court proceedings. It is very, very important. Okay. Thank you very much for that question. I appreciate that question. Yes, thank you. I'm very sure so many persons are gaining today. So many persons are gaining. We know we have so many persons watching us from the For You page. Thank you for watching us on the For You page. Feel free to come in at any time. I'm very sure you're enjoying what you're seeing. So why not just jump in? So many persons just like to watch from the For You page. Jump in and join us. Okay. Thank you. Ask your questions. The camera is open now. Feel free to ask a question. So another question has just come in. Wow, we have lots of questions coming in. Okay. Another person says, let me see. Okay. So it says, please, can I leave the United States while my green card is pending? Can I leave the United States while my green card is pending? Okay. Well, if you have a petition that is already approved, thank you so much. That's an excellent question. Yeah, I wanted to clap for you, but I'll clap for you after I've answered. Thank you. So it depends on your case, actually. It actually depends on your case. If you file for adjustment of status and you're outside the United States, you generally should not leave the US unless you have the proper travel authorization. Now, travel authorization, which is the parole, but now we're even telling them don't travel. Yeah, that we're trying to tell people, because a lot is happening at the border. They can hold you down at any time. They can decide to stop you from coming back in. We've seen a lot of situation. A lot has happened like that. So sometimes you need to have your travel authorization apply with the immigration. They will grant you your advanced parole document. So if you leave without the required authorization, USCIS may consider your adjustment of status abandoned, and depending on your circumstances. So there are some exceptions for certain non-immigrant visa holders, such as some H-1B or L-1 status. Those persons may be able to travel and return under specific conditions. Okay. So even if you're on advanced parole, with this climate right now, travel is not automatically risk-free. Like I said earlier, we've seen situations where they are stopped and questioned at the border. So if you have any issues such as certain criminal history, you have prior removal orders, you have an unlawful presence, or any other inadmissibility concerns, leaving the United States could have serious immigration consequences. Let me invite you. Okay, I'm sending the invites out. I'm seeing a lot of invites coming in. Thank you all so much. You can have a lot of consequences. So before you travel, like I always say, your green card is pending. Make sure you consult with your immigration attorney, with an immigration attorney, to determine whether it is safe or not in your particular case. I always say that immigration law is personalized to each person. Each person's individual case is different. Okay, so your case is different from my case is different from your case. So the fact that this person traveled without a problem or without risk doesn't mean that the other person would travel and not get risk. So make sure you understand your category and all. Thank you so much, Barrister Tiana. Let me clap for Barrister Tiana. Thank you so much for that question. Thank you. Yay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that question. That was a very good question. Fantastic. Fantastic. It shows that my team members, it shows that everybody is actually following. So, do we have any more questions coming up before I close the live? I know everybody's tired. Today is Sunday. On Sundays like this, you go to church, you get children ready for church, and all those other things. So, everybody's tired. I know that. Thank you all for joining me today. I have some questions coming up here. I'm going to just give some time so that we can ask our questions. Feel free to ask your questions. Can I still get my green card? So a question I just said. I'm seeing a question here. It says, can I still get my green card if I have a removal order? Okay, thank you so much. I have an invite here. Who is this person? Someone wants to come in. Okay. So thank you so much. That's a great question. Can I get a green card if I have a removal order? So it depends on the circumstance of your case. It depends on your case. Having a removal order does not automatically mean you can never get a green card. However, a removal order creates a significant legal issues that must be addressed. So for some persons, it may be possible to reopen or terminate removal proceedings. So it just depends. If, for instance, you already have an approved petition and the approval period is still valid, you can use that as a ground. A whole lot, because they're going to look at your background and a whole lot of things. So apply for some persons, you can apply for some certain form of relief before the immigration court. Some persons, you can seek adjustment of status if you are legally eligible. Some persons, you can pursue other legal options depending on the immigration history. So. On the other hand, some removal orders may make it much more difficult to obtain lawful permanent residence, especially if additional grounds of inadmissibility or other legal bars apply. So the most important thing is, do not assume that your case is over. Every case is different. Like I always say, every individual case is different, and the available options depend on your immigration history, the type of removal order, and the immigration benefits that you may qualify for. So if you have a removal order and you believe that you may be eligible for a green card, you should consult an immigration attorney as soon as possible to evaluate your options before taking any further steps. Thank you for that question. I appreciate you all. We are going to close now. We're going to close now. It's already 4:00. I need to go. I hope to see you all some other time. Thank you for joining. Bye. I'll see you all on. Yes, thank you all for joining. Before I go, let me round up well. I didn't round up well. Thank you all for joining. This is CY as a Law Tech Solution. Woo, 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 woo. Cheers to you all. Cheers to my team. Cheers to everybody. Thanks for working with me. Thank you. This is CY as a Law Tech Solutions, where we distribute legal knowledge through technology. This is a place where law jam technology. And we are we're just educating the public. We love to educate. We have a body of persons who have come together and we've said, let us use the technological advancements that we have to share legal knowledge to persons. So thank you all for working with me on this vision. That is our mission. And we are going to continue. We are going to come back live again. We are going to come back live again on Saturday. Do not miss our Saturday live session. Do not miss our Saturday live session. Thank you so much. Do not miss our Saturday live session on Saturdays, 9 a.m. We are going to be here again, 3 p.m. We are going to be 9 a.m. We are going to be here again, 9 a.m. US time. We're going to be here again. Then by 3 p.m. Nigerian time. Okay, so it's 9 a.m. US time. Nigeria is 6 hours ahead. So it's going to be 3 p.m. Nigerian time. We are going to be here on Saturday at that time. On Sundays, we're going to be here around this time between 2 and 3. We are going to come out 1 hour and we are going to come up live and we're going to educate you. So feel free to prepare your questions, your list of questions that you have. It can be from any area of the law. We have our Nigerian attorney that I brought into the crew. She's doing so well. Barrister Ruben, yes, she's going to just be ready. She's a Gen Z. She's a Gen Z attorney. I have Gen Z attorney in my team. Oh my God. I have Gen Z barrister in my team, fresh from the law school. The brain is hot. You understand? So she's going to answer any question that you have on any legal area in Nigeria. I also know I'm also called to Nigerian bar. I'm also called to Nigerian bar. Yes, I was called a long time ago. I'm over 12 years in the Nigerian bar, so I needed a younger brain to come and refresh our memory. Yes, so yes, we are going to, hear the Nigerian perspective next Saturday. And then, of course, I'm called to the US bar. I will give you the US perspective. Oh, yes, of course. Fresh. Yeah. I'm a fresh US court bar. So I'll give you the US perspective. Why my barrister from Nigeria will give us the Nigerian perspective. I mean, I'm going to make the life interesting. The last time was so interesting. The last life was so interesting. We had questions, we had different perspective. We received lots of, we just said, let us just allow anybody come in and just talk to us and discuss with us. Okay. So we are going to come up live again on Saturday and we're going to discuss again. Okay. Now, on Sunday, we're planning to see how we can stay consistent with Sunday life. It's just 1 hour. We can just come out, and do what we have to do. I wish you all the best. Take care. Thank you, team. Love you all. Thank you. Bye.